Vanguard newspaper. Page 8 is where we're starting from. U-Tide, Tinubu cuts transport fare by 50%.
That headline is wrong. That headline is wrong and gives a wrong impression. And I know that it is an impression. It's a propaganda thing, really. It's of very little effect. But the headline, these kind of headlines, are to endear the people. Before I go on, I'd like you to go to your YouTube in your spare time. One good thing that came out of Godfrey Lakpabio's birthday series, I call it series now. We had stadium, we had lecture, and so we had party, and so on and so. But that came out of it is he had a lecture that was attended even by the president, and the lecture there was delivered by Olisa Agbakoba. It was a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece. And I am glad he was bold enough to deliver that lecture. He didn't criticize, he didn't criticize anybody. He just talked about a blueprint. And he made it look so simple. Even I felt stupid. That how come I didn't think of some of these things? It was a masterpiece. Why am I referring to Olisa Agbakoba? A country that has, at this point in time, the likes of Agbakoba, Atedo Peter Side, that has Professor Odika Kalu, that has Patutomi. Now I have to look for one Yoruba person and someone from the north to balance it. But that has people like that. And doesn't put them to that had an Oshibaju and doesn't put them to good use. Is going to end up having this kind of harebrained Christmas package that we have. The irony is that the APC is full of a lot of brilliant people, but they would never bring them to the fore. Rather, you have an SSA saying where we're expressing worry about, multinationals leaving, and it comes up to say that some Radisson whatever are going to build a hotel, and that is supposed to be some kind of FDI. Why do I say so? When you go away from the headline, which even the NLC, and I agree with, say is workable, you will know that what you have is some luxury bus operators probably they'll be giving some money, and then those of the railway whatever, the railways will be completely free, which has been done from the days of Aregbesola. In Osun. But you ask yourself, what percentage of the population would be able to take advantage of this? Minimal. The story says that he has directed 50% in land transportation across. You can't direct something. You don't have national buses, so you can't direct a reduction in something that you don't own. But apparently, to be fair to them, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development and whatever, Mr. Dele Alake, disclosed that they had been in consultations with some luxury bus owners. There is no luxury bus service in the whole of the West up till Benin. In the whole of the West, there's no luxury bus service. The closest luxury bus service to us here is probably, I don't even think there's a luxury bus service to Delta. I'm not too sure. But even let's leave that. Okay, so you get to Benin and then to the north, to Maiduguri, Kaduna, Kano, and so on and so forth. Is that supposed to be? That's a Christmas package for the few. And I don't see anything to celebrate in it. I'm sorry, people will say I'm highly critical. Yes, I am, because this kind of deceit is something that I just don't understand.
I think they said they also spoke with minibuses as well.
What I read with luxury buses. What I have in my paper here, the luxury buses, since the luxury buses have 22, what they have done is they've spoken with the established luxury bus operators, and then maybe the like GIG, this some for whatever, And so, what is the reason? Alake says that in the spirit of Christmas, all this propaganda things, it says the spirit of Christmas bring down the cost of public transportation to allow our compatriots who want to travel to visit their loved ones and hometowns to do so without stress and extra burden. The president is well aware of the recent increase in cost. Isn't there some other thing of general nature that could have been done that more people will be able to key into? Because how do you translate
Chasing shadows.
As simple as that? That's what it is.
They're chasing shadows.
It doesn't sound like
Go heavy.
only
Go away.
go away.
Go away.
Anyway, let me cut out all the propaganda. But to go straight, since from tomorrow, Nigerians willing to travel can board public transport luxury buses at 50% discount. That's what Alake said. He didn't say all buses. He said, so all those going to Ilorin and not this what do you call this vehicle now? This Sienna and all these other people's that is not there.
It's possible that the paper tucked it in somewhere because I saw the original.
It's not in what Alake said. I'm going
I
by
s-
what is no. It's
Yeah, I saw the original statement. So they included minibuses there. But my own concern is just that how many of such transport owners or companies have they spoken with? Like you said, the impact could be very minimal. To be very
extremely
honest, with
minimal.
you. There are a lot of people that transportation to their villages is not even in their agenda because even when they get there, how do they sort themselves out there?
What is on the agenda of most people is food.
It's food, feeding, food.
There was a time we really don't want to go back to those times, but I remember with nostalgia when we had a company called National Supply. But even Lagos State has all these rights and things for its state. Can't the federal work in conjunction with the states to do something that will put food on people's tables? Import whatever it is, milk and whatever, maybe not branded, just Nigerian milk, just something to put something in this belly. And anyway, now this is the clincher. It is a big joke. Transport operators, luxury bus. That's why I said it's propaganda. It's not well thought out. It's a last minute whatever. It says luxury bus operators in Abuja express shock and feign ignorance over the development. It's in the Vanguard.
And they said they've been talking with
them, and these ones they feigned ignorance. Vanguard correspondent who visited the Young Shall Grow observed that the fare of the executive bus price from Abuja to Owerri and Umuahia cost 35,000. Yeah. Abuja to Enugu and Onitsha cost 35,100, while Abuja to Abia and Port Harcourt cost 40,000. Also, morning highest buses charges are from Abuja to this. They list all the prices. Then there's also night bus. One of the top officials of the Young Shall Grow Abuja branch, who spoke to our correspondent on condition of anonymity, said government move was a mere publicity stunt, stating that they were not even consulted prior to the decision. I like where you laugh, people. She said that the aforementioned prices would not go lower, but would be increased soon. And usually towards Christmas, towards New Year, it goes up like that. Suggesting that the government had also started implementing the directive on the train services, she said they are not serious. This country is a joke. They think private operators enjoy what government operators do. Trains run on what and buses run on what? Please, let's be guided. Another staff of Ekison Transport, Emeka Dubisi, Abuja, said, I am actually not aware. If the young is not aware, the young is one of the biggest boys in the business. He goes from here all the way to Maiduguri. Yes. The other ones focus more on the east. The young goes everywhere to the east, and it goes all the way. The young goes to Maiduguri. So if the young say they don't know, I wonder who they've been talking to. And he says that one of the top officials, another staff of Ekison is another one, says, I am actually not aware if they carried private sector along in this. They are funny if they didn't, because we are not aware. If we were carried along by now, we would have been called for a meeting to discuss this, but no. On the other hand, reducing transport fare by 50% is impractical and unsustainable decision for interstate transport operators. This move completely disregards the operational costs involved in running a transport business, fuel prices, maintenance, salaries, and so on and so forth. They talk about that. Another counter staff of God is Good Motors, GIGM, who in Abuja, who preferred anonymity, said, even though the idea is a good one, but if it's not possible, we don't trust this government. Their lies are too much. You see how sad it is. In fact, the decision to reduce transport fare by 50% seems like a hasty and uninformed move. They fail to realize that interstate operators have been grappling with financial challenges for years due to rising operational costs and so on and so forth. However, a bit of the good news, the Railway Corporation, RTN, and NATO said that they will comply. The MD of Railway, Mr. Fidel Okina, said it's a good step as a government, so you know what it will be like. But the modality for going on the train, even though it is free, is that you need to get your ticket online.
Okay.
This is I'm glad to hear this. I thought that people would just queue and go on the train. No. So he said no, that portal will be closed by now, I can assure you. And be operated by TAPS, but that's another thing. That's not the government. The government has done its own. It says that you call on the travelers to get your tickets online because this is the only way to prevent readiness at the station. So you get your ticket online to have access to board the train. When it gets to checkout, you just say free and you print the ticket with your seat number. I will get a first class ticket. I was actually thinking of going to Ibadan, doing a day return, to go and eat Folake's rice.
Why did you mention it?
I didn't say there are so many Folakes now, but it's Folake's rice and Andugo. I was even going to ask you to come along.
You can go.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Quadry, please, I understand you watch this program. I don't think I'm leading your husband astray. It's just fun. Meanwhile, it says that the fares have skyrocketed, and less than 5 days to Christmas, the fares have gone up. This government needs some tinkering, and I wish the president would put more exposed and more experience. There's so many of them, more experience. Even the president was looking at Agbakuba with awe. But what I also read on his face, he had this kind of smirk that, oh boy, finish your talking, Joe. You don't know what practically is going on here. That's what I read on his face. Like, but what he said made sense. But then I guess it depends on what the agenda, let's even go into that politics now, what the agenda of the political party is in this.
Look, good luck to you if you're traveling. Just know that if you want to enjoy the benefits as well, you need to leave wherever you're going by the 4th of January.
And when does it? And you should come back when?
4th of January.
Oh, 4th of January.
Yes.
Okay.